So this case was a little different because we kind of had to go back. We were already a month behind. She went missing January 9th, and now it's February 12th. We start kind of looking into what has already been done and then what steps I would normally take moving forward.
NaZiyah Harris had been missing more than 30 days by the time Detroit police took hold of her case. Now, we rolled through the timeline, and I can honestly say that once Jarvis got to the Parkcrest Inn, this is where I lose track of NaZiyah. Now, I've seen the emails, I've seen the comments, and a lot of people are inquiring about Parkcrest Inn. You know, did Detroit police really investigate? Was NaZiyah really with Jarvis at the Parkcrest Inn? And then most importantly, did Parkcrest Inn have cameras? Hopefully, I can clear some of that up in this video for you. Come on, ride with me.
We have evidence that at 9:30 p.m. on that day that Mr. Butts checked into a motel and that NaZiyah was never seen or heard from again. Not from her family, not from her schoolmates, not from her friends, not from social media where she was extremely active with her friends, not from teachers, no one. We know that she had no medical conditions that would cause a life-threatening medical emergency to her. And he, again, was the last person that saw her alive.
Do I believe that NaZiyah was with Jarvis at the Parkcrest Inn the night of January the 9th, 2024? Absolutely. Absolutely. And the police think so too. Think about it. We know there's a plan for them to get together. Jarvis picked her up after school. NaZiyah rode to Ypsilanti with Jarvis and Cordell, and then later on that evening, they all went back to the shop. So you want me to believe that Jarvis held on to this girl all day, and then would give up his opportunity to have sex with her? No. See, no. That's where the Parkcrest Inn came into play. According to Jarvis' phone records, he was at that Parkcrest Inn for at least 3 hours. At least 3 hours. He didn't start moving around until he got off the phone with 1520. See, and that's why the Detroit police went to the Parkcrest Inn to investigate.
And I want to take you to the location of 20,000 Harper. Okay. Did your assisting in the investigation take you to that location?
Yes.
And what is that location?
Parkcrest Hotel.
Okay. And do you recall when about you went there?
Sometime in February.
Okay. And it's in 2004? 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
No one gave us an exact date as to when they went to the Parkcrest Inn, but they said it was in February. Hell, they didn't get the case until February the 12th. So, based off of the timeline, because I know what they did in the days after receiving the case. So I suspect that they didn't get to the Parkcrest Inn until towards the end of February. Think about how much time had passed.
And when you went there, what is it that you did?
We spoke to the clerk that was on duty at the time, and we requested the ledger for January.
And did you receive anything from the ledger from January?
Yes, we did.
Okay, and what is it that you received?
There was a sign-in sheet filled out by Mr. Butts.
Okay, and did you take a copy of that sign-in sheet?
Yes.
Okay.
So when they got there, they saw the sign-in sheet, and that's it. The whole time Detective Johnson was on the stand, I'm wondering why there's no mention of the actual person who supposedly checked Jarvis in. I think that person should have been called as a witness. What y'all think?
Detective Johnson, you said that when you went to the Parkcrest Motel, you spoke with the clerk.
Yes.
Was that clerk the clerk that was there themselves on the night?
I don't believe so. We spoke with the clerk who forwarded us to the manager. We waited on the manager to come in. He brought the receipt out.
Did either the clerk or the manager that you spoke with indicated that they had any recollection of seeing Mr. Butts on the night?
No.
Okay. Did you spoke with anybody at the Parkcrest Motel who did seem to indicate that they had familiarity with Mr. Butts?
Not for that particular night. A few people said they may have seen him prior, but not for sure.
Did you get the impression that he's kind of a frequent flyer there?
Somewhat, yes.
Okay.
Surprise, surprise. Jarvis is a regular there. This is where he would take his many women, including Shannon. And on January the 9th, 2024, it was NaZiyah's turn. See, this is where some people have a hard time believing that NaZiyah was even at the Parkcrest Inn, because we didn't get direct evidence placing her there, like camera footage, her being caught on camera. Because trust me when I tell you, there were cameras.
Did you notice when you were there if there were any cameras in the parking lot or around the door?
Yes, there's cameras.
There's cameras. Where are they located?
I can't be specific right now. I know there is cameras in the lobby and there are some outside on the perimeter.
Okay.
So we know there's cameras, she said, in the lobby and around the perimeter of the Parkcrest Inn. So why didn't they mention any footage that they may have had from January the 9th?
Now, that brings up a good point. You said you're a month behind on this investigation.
Yes.
So, that, fair to say, that being a month behind would cause you to potentially lose critical pieces of evidence.
Yes.
Okay, and some of those pieces of evidence, fair to say, could be videos.
Correct.
Okay. Why would it be that you would be losing those videos?
So most video systems, and every business is different. You got green light, you have businesses and people that have their own residential cameras or property cameras, and it'll vary. Some of them start overwriting in 48 hours, some of them is a week, some may last up to a month. It just depends on how large their system is and how much data it can hold.
And is that a struggle that you encountered in this case?
Yes.
And where is it that you encountered that?
So there's several cameras and videos throughout the entire route of travel that later in the investigation we were able to identify. But as we identified those locations and went to see if video was still able to be there, it had already been overwritten or was not available.
I took that to mean that by the time they learned of the Parkcrest Inn, that footage was long gone. Simple as that. So that's why I didn't understand the rumor that was going around and people was emailing me about there being footage of NaZiyah and Jarvis entering the Parkcrest Inn and then Jarvis leaving alone. And I was like, what? Wait a minute. That don't even make sense to me. Where's the footage? Where exactly did this come from? So Jarvis left NaZiyah in the room, dead or alive. So here's my thing. If there's footage of Jarvis leaving the room, which would have been around 12:30ish, according to the phone records, this would mean that there should be footage of NaZiyah leaving that room, however she left the room, dead or alive. You get what I'm saying? Make it make sense.
Now, we don't know who was with him there, but there is no evidence that NaZiyah was ever there. They searched it. They took DNA. They took clippings of various things. They swabbed a shower drain, and there's no evidence that she was ever in that room.
See, the defense wants you to believe that NaZiyah was never at the Parkcrest Inn. So here's the thing. They can only talk that shit because they know there's no footage placing NaZiyah there. Period. Y'all understand what I'm talking about? There's no footage. And during the investigation, they went to room 69 and they tested the mattress and the shower drains. Pay attention.
What were your findings as it relates to interpretation number 7 of the fabric mattress pad stain cover?
So in the earlier report, we did not have a known sample from NaZiyah Harris, so I went back and compared her to those previously submitted evidence samples, one of which was the fabric mattress pad cover stain, which she was excluded as a contributor to that stain. Also, don't keep going.
Yeah, you can go.
Also to the plastic mattress cover piece swabs, which if you'll remember, that was 4 individuals. When comparing her, it was 430 million times more likely if it originated from 4 unrelated unknown contributors than if it originated with from NaZiyah Harris and 3 unrelated unknown contributors. And this was very strong support that NaZiyah Harris is not a contributor to that plastic mattress cover piece swabs. The final was the shower drain swabs. That was also for individuals. And that was 13,000 times more likely if it originated from 4 unrelated unknown contributors than if it originated from NaZiyah Harris and 3 contributors. And that was strong support that NaZiyah Harris is not a contributor to those shower drain swabs. Okay.
So no, they didn't find any footage, nor did they find any of her DNA on that mattress or in the shower drain. And that's why this is one of them things why some people believe NaZiyah never made it to the Parkcrest Inn. But see, you can't forget time. How many people do y'all think stayed in that room 69 since the night of January the 9th? Now here we are in late February. Now, if you would have told me that there was no footage or DNA within, like, let's say the first week of NaZiyah disappearing, okay, I might be able to ride with you. But you can't tell me that more than 30 days later and think that the lack of evidence carries enough weight to suggest that NaZiyah was never there. Nah, hell nah. I can't ride with that. And speaking of riding, last week one of my subscribers pulled up on me at the car wash, y'all. Scared the shit out of me, right? And I know she watching this video. Hey sis, it was nice meeting you, baby. One of the very first things she asked me was if I thought NaZiyah was dead or alive. And I'm going to be honest with y'all right here, right now. I can't answer that. I can't. Some things are still a little fuzzy to me. Let's think about what they gave us, right? They gave us a motive. She's underage and pregnant. Okay, got it. They gave us the Google searches. Jarvis trying to figure out how to abort a baby. Okay, got it. They gave us the fact that there has been no social media contact or family contact. Nothing from NaZiyah. Okay, got it. Then there's this black hoodie with blood all over it. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't trust that shit. That evidence that they, quote unquote, the evidence that they found out by that river, I don't trust it. I don't. And I'm being honest with y'all. In the next video, I'm gonna show y'all why I feel the way I feel. But with those things, is that enough to suggest murder? Now, Jarvis is guilty of a lot of things. And the things that he is guilty of is enough for me. Just so we clear. That's enough to throw him to the wolves. But when we get into murder, and then not only murder, premeditated murder, I don't know if I can ride with that. I hope the state got more. They need more, a lot more. Because if they got somebody on the jury like me, I don't know. He wouldn't go down for murder. I haven't seen enough, But what y'all think? Y'all think she's dead or alive? Because after this whole Parkcrest Inn, I don't know what happened to NaZiyah. She's kind of in the wind after that. So I would definitely love to hear y'all thoughts. At this stage of the game, do y'all think she's dead or alive? And I'm going to see y'all on the next video. Stick with me. We still riding, baby.